On today's show, we're starting off with the Mercedes-Benz compact car, the all-new CLA in historic Georgetown. Then it's the new Ram. Chrysler's restyled pickup truck now has a diesel engine. And finally, we'll check out the new Kias at Kia's new soccer training facility. What a show! It's car business. History lesson for you, Cato.
That's what I need.
We are in Washington, D.C. officially, but this part is called...
Georgetown.
Named for?
The basketball team.
No.
Well, it is a famous basketball team. John Thompson.
Georgetown existed before America existed.
Well, I mean, it was a colony, the 13 colonies, and of course, there is a lot of history here. Actually, it was a swamp, just a horrible place.
D.C. was the swamp, but
well,
Georgetown is here. And now, of course, that house behind us, for instance.
John F. Kennedy.
That's where, when he left for his inauguration in 1960, that front door.
Yes, first Catholic president, which was a big deal in those days, and he was a big deal because he came from a big deal family. His dad had been ambassador and a former sort of bootlegger, lots of money. So a big deal.
Who's giving who the history lesson? That's what, anyway, we are here not for the history so much as for the Mercedes over there. Let's have a look.
All right.
So, Cato, this is the Mercedes in question, and it's
CLA.
CLA. Well, it's not a limo fit for a president. This is a compact car.
Yeah, but this might be the kind of car Obama would like. You know, very fuel efficient.
Right.
He's the global warming president, the climate change, the high fuel economy standards.
But is this what Mercedes should be building today?
They have to. It's the law. I mean, the fleet-wide fuel economy rules come into play, so you've got to build 4-cylinder engine luxury cars, and that's what this car is.
Drive me to the White House, Cato. I think most people in Georgetown can afford to drive the most expensive Mercedes, but the CLA is for the rest of us. This smaller front-wheel drive Mercedes is supposed to be priced to be attainable, starting at about 34 grand. It has a 2-liter direct-injected turbo 4-cylinder engine with 211 horses, a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, and great looks. I think they're going to sell some of these things, Cato.
You know, this is all part of that big Daimler picture, the Mercedes picture, to capture the #1 place in the premium marketplace. Because Mercedes, right, they're number 3 behind Audi and the Bavarians from BMW.
Well, they got to put up some numbers. They need a volume car, so they've gone into compact cars. I think it makes perfect sense. You know, this is not about being the most prestigious company in the world. It's about making profits.
Yeah, but you keep talking about the size of the car, compact, compact, compact. It's all about the price point. Mercedes-Benz wants to sell cars to middle-class people. That's where the growth is. The luxury market's tapped out. They've got to go down market and go head-to-head with the Camrys and the Fords and all those Hondas and all that. Bam, bam, bam! Now, Chris, the CLA for Mercedes, you're going after Honda Accord buyers. It's priced like a Honda Accord.
Well, that's what we want to do. We want to talk to customers that have never been in a Mercedes-Benz dealership before, and at a starting price of $33,900, we're hoping to do that with the CLA.
But I don't understand why. Mercedes-Benz is a premium brand, not a Honda Accord brand.
Well, we want to be premium in any segment that we compete against. So even in what we call the entry luxury segment, you know, we're not going to be priced the same as what you know, Accords, Camrys, things like that. We are still going to be priced at a premium, but we want to appeal to younger customers, to people that haven't traditionally looked at Mercedes-Benz vehicles before.
A city car. That's what I like. Now Mercedes is doing little urban cars. About time.
Well, it's, I don't know, it's certainly designed for the city, designed for the urban climate, but with
this compact car for Mercedes. Now, you're supposed to be building big limos for bank presidents.
We have those too. We have the new S-Class this year, but we also want to speak to new customers too with the CLA. It's something that, you know, we want to bring customers that haven't been in a Mercedes-Benz dealership before. We hope the CLA is a product that'll bring them in to check it out.
If people do check it out, they'll find that Mercedes has loaded their new compact sedan with an impressive list of standard equipment at the base price. Power this and that, AC, and collision prevention assist technology. And the interior is very stylish looking.
But I can see what they're doing here. I mean, if you look around this cockpit, it's got all those cues, the expensive-looking cues that will attract people. You know, if you just want to say, I've got a Mercedes-Benz and I only spent $34,000 for it, you've got the recipe for it right here.
Yes, a Mercedes-Benz, I mean, it's got the three-pointed star, but we're sitting on plastic seats. I mean, they call it Arcotix or Membitex or whatever the heck it is, but it's not leather. It's, you know what they call it? I love this from the Mercedes people. They call it man-made leather. Man-made leather. Are you kidding me? There is no such thing as, it comes from cows. That's what leather is.
When Cato calmed down, I took him to see another historic site.
And now for some Canadian content in Georgetown, Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah, well, great American.
Great Scotsman, first of all, then Canadian. But he lived most of his life in Georgetown and made his fortune here from inventing the telephone and built this. This was the first dedicated telecommunications laboratory in the world.
Bureau.
The Volta Bureau.
Yes, well, it's good to know that Canadians have brought some technology to the American world.
Exactly.
The classy-looking CLA looked right at home, cruising around Washington's Embassy Row. This will be the first front-wheel drive Benz sold in the all-important U.S. market.
Well, taxpayer Cato, I brought you here for a reason. Do you know what that is?
That's the ambassador's residence, our Canadian ambassador.
Do you know how much duty-free liquor is consumed in there and how little work is done?
None by me.
No.
And we weren't even invited for dinner this evening. We came all this way and no invitation.
Well, we'll have to talk about the car instead. I think Mercedes has finally found its design language. Too often they were just building those big boxes with a three-pointed star in the
Well,
middle.
that and there was a kind of a confusing array of lines and shapes and cutouts, but I like the proportions here. It's balanced teardrop shape. I like this cutout hood here. I think
The power dome.
The power dome, and there's nothing too ridiculous about the front end. Just the big three-pointed star, so people know what they're paying for.
Does it drive like a Merc with a four-cylinder engine?
Well, there's two flavors, remember?
Yeah.
You've got the 208 horsepower basic car, which 0 to 60, 6.8 seconds, and excellent fuel economy. And then there's this AMG.
For $50,000.
Yeah, 355 horsepower. I mean, just like crazy for a four-cylinder engine.
But they still sound like Toyotas. I mean, I want a good, gutsy exhaust note.
You know, with the technology today, you could tune this to sound like the baddest, meanest security guard in an embassy you could ever see.
Well, the last issue, value for money. If you can get a Merc starting at $34,000, it sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, but the Americans are paying $29,900. Yes, the dollar's at par. I mean, this doesn't make sense to me at all.
Take it up with the ambassador.
After the break, we're back with the new Ram pickup truck in good old rural Ontario.